Hi Janice, today is Monday, October 31st. Happy Halloween. I'm pretty sure it's trick-or-treat night around here tonight, but I'm not for sure. They don't have any signs, and we don't get a newspaper. We don't even have an option to get a newspaper here, so I don't really know what's going on with that. And we tried looking it up online on news stations, and we couldn't find any information. We're probably missing it somewhere, but whatever. But we're pretty sure that trick-or-treat is tonight. Um, I'm not doing, I don't think, NaNoWriMo anymore. I know I got really excited about NaNoWriMo and was all like preachy about NaNoWriMo and everything, but I think I decided to do it too early, and because of that, I worked myself out of the story. Basically, it's one of those cases where you make a decision to do something, you start really thinking about it, and you realize it's probably a bad idea. Even though my hands have been cramping up a lot because I've been sleeping on them wrong and clenching them a lot, I really don't think that writing is going to be a good break from doing these things because, for one thing, the static stories that I had come up with that I was going to string together with the common thread of the main storyline is not going to work with the way I've developed everything else, and I don't have the ability mentally to change all the stories that I cemented in my head. Like, there's no way that I can just change everything that I'm like, nope, it goes this way. And I had problems explaining that with Nick, who was like, we'll just change the stories. So that ended up not working. I still have another idea that I could go with, but that'll make me really depressed because it's kind of a worst case scenario of the country. And I really don't want to write that because that would make me really depressed all the time, and I don't want to think about that. So yeah. As you can see, I'm wearing this pretty thing. It probably looks like a blanket from this angle, but it's not. It's a beautiful stole that I got from a fair trade company store, and company, called 10,000 Villages. I'll put it in the doobly-doo. It's a wonderful fair trade thing. All the workers in the shop that I bought this from work on volunteer hours only, so they can have as many employees as they want, but nobody gets paid. And they're basically helping to sell products that artisans from developing countries make to be able to make ends meet. Like, sometimes a whole village will be participating in making items to be able to keep the village afloat. And these fair trade companies that are partnered with 10,000 villages ensure that these people are able to still make money because there are big corporations who make the same things who can charge, 3 times as much and make a huge profit off of these items, and they don't take care of their people, whereas the village kind of needs it more. This was made by a small family-run company in India. It's made out of like viscous fibers like banana leaves and whatnot. It's super soft. And I absolutely love it. It's perfect because the weather is cold enough to need something on your shoulders, but not cold enough to need sleeves, I found out. I also found out that just wearing my scarf helps, but Nick told me that's not really that healthy to just wear a scarf because it does keep you warm, but it also leaves other areas exposed. And so he thinks this is a better idea, and he thinks it's super pretty on me, and that's why he bought it for me. It was also really cheap. We saw a similar product in another World Trade store on the street that was charging $60 for it. This was less than $30. So yeah. Not only did I get to help people, but I also got a fair price for it, which is awesome. Woods has been dealing with some digestive problems because Mommy gave him a milk bone late last week, and even though she knew that it would make his butt hurt, I still did it, and now he's having issues. Luckily, the acidophilus that I've been giving him in his pill pocket as a treat every morning is helping to keep him from exploding all over the house, and keeping him pretty regular, but it still sucks that I did it because he was doing so much better. He and I have also started to show signs of allergies because it's getting to be that time of year again. It usually happens mid to late November to like February or March, but I think because of the drought, everything is getting heightened. There is an evergreen called a juniper tree, a juniper cedar tree or whatever. It has really thick pollen that can cause a lot of really bad allergies. Like, I would get like really dizzy and faint and nauseous and get horrible migraines from it and stuff, and I've already shown signs of getting congested and whatnot because of it. I think I've seen a few of them around the grounds. They're really pretty. They just cause a lot of problems. A lot of Texans hate those trees and would like to completely eradicate them from the state, even though they're like a native tree, because they don't like the allergies that come with it, and Woody is showing a few signs of it too. I thought he had like a doggy cold, but then I realized after looking into it that if he had a doggy cold, he would constantly be coughing or sneezing, and he'd have runny noses, and he'd have a temperature and stuff, and he's not complaining of being sick or acting sick at all. We've also thought about getting another animal. I mean, you already knew that. We were thinking of getting an animal. of getting a cat, but I don't really know if I want a cat anymore, which is weird because I grew up being like the little miniature cat lady. I love cats. I'm the reason we have all of the cats that we have, or at least a good portion of it. I love kitties. The problem is that I don't think a cat and Woody would get along as well as Woody and another dog. I mean, if it was just the cat and Woody, I'm pretty sure that they would eventually form some sort of camaraderie, but I don't think it would be the same. And also, I don't really know if I want cat hair everywhere. I love cats, but sometimes that can get annoying, especially if I'm working with a lot of yarn and stuff. I don't want to like work my cat hair into the yarn. And on top of that, cats can be destructive, and I don't really want cats scratching up all of our furniture, um, seems kind of silly considering I grew up with it. But we live in an apartment, and I don't want them digging up the doorway when it's not ours. If it was our house, I'd be okay with it, but with it being an apartment, I kind of am worried about them being destructive. And you can kind of look for that in adult cats and see if they're really chill and laid back or if they're destructive and see their behaviors. But I'm still kind of wary because even the most chill, laid back cats, I'm looking at you, late Mikey, can still chew the hell out of a doorway with their nails. And Nick understands that. And I also think that getting a cat would, or getting a dog would be easier, like a small dog, smaller than Woody dog. Because we already own a lot of stuff for dogs, and all we'd really need to get them is a collar set with a leash, a gentle leader, and a food bowl. We already have everything else. It can eat the same food that Woody eats. It can do all the same things that Woody does. They already would be living together. And Woody seems to feed off of other dogs. Like, he gets excited around any animal, really, interacting with others. But I've noticed that he feeds off the energy of other dogs. He doesn't really like play with them, but like he seems to be happier. Like when we were at your house, when he was hanging out at Grandma's, he always seemed really excited. He would like follow Murray around, and he was always just really happy. And Nick has noticed that and agree with that too. And while it would be easier to have a cat because when we traveled we'd only have to board one of them, we could have somebody watch the other one. At the same time, we also think it would be good to have a dog because of Woody, but we don't really know. And so we've agreed, even though I'm getting kind of antsy and I've been looking at them and being bad. We've agreed to kind of wait until after Christmas to really look into it because that way we'll have everything we need and we'll be settled and everything will be ready for them, and we can make a better decision then. But we don't really know yet, and I'm like picking at this thing because I found something that was hard, and then I made a run in it and made it unpretty. But yeah, this video is long. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a happy Halloween and had a fun time this weekend and everything, and I will talk to you later. Bye.